All right, guys. It is time, for game 2 here on our week of Chinese New Year casts. It is game 2 of the Peeping Tom challenge, where people had to perv on their opponents and get as much map vision as possible. Over here in the right-hand side of the map, in the red, a Terran player with a fantastic name. In fact, a funky name. It is Funky Fun Time. Hey you want funky fun time? I funky fun you long time. I don't know. I'm trying to. I can hear that. I'm thinking of the Full Metal Jacket scene, but it's funky fun time instead of I love you long time. I don't know. For some reason that tickles me in a special place, guys. Someone please go edit that scene and just change the line to I give you funky fun time. Up over here in the left hand side in the blue representing Red Lizard, it is Hoggle. Alright, so these players had to try and get that vision everywhere they could. Funky Fun Times bringing out a little bit of a wild build with a command center first on the golden TVT. Oh my lord. In TV, this is so dangerous. Oh man. And there's like a low ground wall off when Reapers can just jump up there. Wait, funky. Okay, it is going to be barracks next. I thought it might be command center for a second. Absolutely insane opening from Funky Fun Time. Of course, guys, remember this is part of the Liquid Rain sponsored Icyfars. So if you do love a game, you want to give it a vote, make sure you do press like at the end of it. And there are prizes up for giveaways. For those of you who want to get your replays in for next week, the challenge is all your base R belong to us. We want your best base trade replays. Send them in. And of course, the rules can always be found both in the YouTube description, but also in the Twitch chat. All you need to do, even if I'm offline, hop in my Twitch chat, type !Icyfar, you'll get all the details. And it looks like it's Funky Fun Time's lucky day, guys, because a Reaper didn't start straight away. Hoggle went Tech Lab first and only now is starting a Reaper and did not scout. Hoggle is gonna have zero information about this command center first on the gold for a long time, and already a second barracks on the way. We do have a gas down now with just 2 workers mining on it. Funky Fun Time here has the gold base up, isn't even making orbitals. Is like, I don't need orbitals, I'm just gonna rally SCVs to me gold base, mate. Of course, these are rich mineral patches. 7 minerals per load rather than 5. These are the biggest loads. Here we have Frodo, and here we have Samwise. Samwise says, Frodo, share the load. Frodo just fucking runs off because it's one of those scenes where everything gets all blurry and the ring's whispering in his ears and it's all possessed him, and he's like, oh, and Sam's like, you fucking idiots, mate. No. And the Reaper kills him. And the share the load meme dies right there because that load died on the map. The Reaper is going to come up here to this gold base, and one Drilly Boy is going to go down very quickly, I think. Oh, Drilly Boys go for this round. 1 SCV has gone. The Reaper, 1 man, 2 pistols, a jetpack, and not only that, he's got spiked shoulder pads. Oh my god, he's a spiky junker Reaper, isn't he? Oh, the Marines do chase him off. Does end up with 3 kills, does that Reaper. We've got Marines here. A couple of defensive Reapers from Funky Fun Time as well. Hoggle expanding to the high ground. Is down 4 SCVs right now, and is going to start to set up with tanks, with Marines, and just kind of progress to that next step. But the income has got to be out of control right now. 1,500, 1,600 minerals. Oh, but run away, Hoggle. Hoggle turned around for a second there. One more shot. Oh, he keeps clicking. No, you got to click far. Okay, this is something you always see in players who aren't like super high level, is when they're running away, they'll just keep clicking right in front of their unit. All you want to do, guys, and Tasteless used to always talk about this for like 4 years of GSL casts. I don't think he does it anymore because he got bored of it. Whenever a unit's being chased by another unit, you just want to click it as far away on the minimap as possible so it runs in like the automatic fastest line. If you keep spamming clicks, it's going to fuck up its pathing. It's going to keep changing directions, and the opponent will catch up if they've just A-moved. And that is what happened to that Reaper there. But Hoggle comes down, revenges himself by taking down those 2 Reapers. One could even call these tanks Revengers. Ravengers, that's right. It's a real word, guys. It's definitely not something dumbasses who don't know how to say Ravager or read the words in front of them invented. No, definitely not. We do have a couple of siege tanks coming forward with a single Marine. 2 Marines going to go around the left-hand side at the same time. Oh, 5 Marines, 2 siege tanks. Oh, Hoggle. Oh, the tank. Oh, he's going back. He's going forward. Oh, the micro. Big boy micro. Hoggle even drops the mule for the repair. Oh, the sick plays. Funky Funtime is not having a good time. And, oh, shit, he's got to abandon the base. The Drilly Boys run. They're going to run tails between their legs, minerals held between their hands. And that is the, oh, my God. Oh, someone enjoys really C-grade German horror movies. Ugh. Human Centipede, Drilly Boy Centipede right there. Ugh. Split up. Oh, finally. A much better ending than the actual Human Centipede movie. The Centipede is broken at the end of this one. Thank God. Here we go, Marines coming out. We got the siege tanks as well. We got Hoggle there, building SCVs and mules. Yes! Hoggle, you make me so happy. I love you so much, Hoggle. I love you so much. I was asking for this. I was wanting it. I was hungry for it. We see a scan on the other side, sees Marines rallying across the map. Funky Funtime's like, oh shit, he's rallying some stuff. Now, Funky Funtime is still up on 3 bases, but he's trying to transition into some sort of weird mine tank? 3 racks bio. This is awesome. Hoggle, though, says, look, mate, I didn't have a lot of vision at the start of this game. I really was not living up to me potential as a peeping Tom, but it's time that changes. Builds a proxy sensor tower in the opponent's gold base and says, haha. Let's go to Funky Funtime's camera. We've got to watch this. Funky Funtime sees this gigantic circle on the minimap and goes, what the hell is going on? I want to tell you guys, there is nothing that panics you more than a sensor tower being built outside your base. It is this weird feeling where you're, am I being trolled? Am I just being trolled right now? And you're pretty certain, yes, you are being trolled. Your opponent is toying with you. You're his food. You're his mashed potatoes. He's pushing you around the plate. Hoggle's like, yeah, mate, I'm in control of this game. And I'm going to set up a fierce contain. The siege tanks, the Marines doing well. And these Marines going to go forward. They want to eat some tank shots. They are in tank range, but Funky Funtime does not have that vision. So we're going to have to see exactly what goes on. SCV coming forward. We're going to build another sensor tower. Oh, make me so happy. He's just got 200 gas. He's just got 200 gas. Come on, build another one. Build another one. We've got to creep sensor towers into your opponent's base. A sensor tower here would serve almost no function, and that is exactly why I want to see it. I'm going to come back. Hoggle, you better build another sensor tower, mate. You better do it. Back at home. 2 barracks production is up. Second eBay on the way. We've got a factory there. Only 2 barracks for Hoggle. That is a problem in the long run. He's going to need to add some more production. Oh god, that's a lot of bio for Funky Funtime, who is only now starting stim on this tech. This tech lab's been up for like 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, 5 Marauders queued up. Is this me we're watching? Is this me in a Zerg vs Terran where I panic and queue up 5 Marauders on each tech lab barracks and no Marines on the reactors? I think it is, guys. That's my build. That's my strategy right there. I do that every TVZ. Whenever I'm losing, I panic and build 5 Marauders. A couple siege tanks, 2 starports here as well. Funky Funtime's like, let's get a bit of bio, a bit of tanks, a bit of mines, and a bunch of medevacs. But Hoggle here, gonna start building a missile turret ring around here as well. Oh god, I'm so excited right now. Look at that. Look at this. Just sending a whole bunch of SCVs across. Has a 3rd base behind this. You know what's fantastic, guys? I mean, how could you possibly counter this as Funky Funtime, right? If your opponent's got siege tanks outside your base, the last thing you'd possibly think of is loading up something into medevacs and flying them around the edges. But you know what? You can't do it. There's another sensor tower down here. Full ring of vision. There's only one last sliver left to evacuate unspotted. Back at home, Hoggle has literally 0 defense. Naked bases is relying upon this contain to spot and shut down any move outs. Funky Funtime's like, all right, I'm going to try and drop on your tank. Nope, there's Marines there. These Marines, a little bit ahead of themselves for Hoggle. Funky Funtime is in struggle street right now. As, Funky Funtime's going to move right on into tank range there. Ooh, starts to get the shots down. But the scan does run out, and both tanks just sieged in range of each other. Oh, Hoggle here. Gonna go forward. And if he gets one shot off, does get it off just barely in time. Not just that, but those Marines gonna take some damage. They're on hold position right now. And Hoggle just barely doesn't have range. This is a pretty filthy contain. Oh, the tanks are doing good. Some very nice. There's this one tank at the bottom on the high ground down here doing so much. The Marines come forward. The missile turret's going to shut that down. Stim finishes for Hoggle. Stim. Hoggle goes whole hog, runs into the mineral line, meat hooks a pack of bio into him, starts using that fucking scrap cannon to gun shit down, is laughing manically mechanically, his big, gigantic belly booming. And Funky Funtime is like, God damn, man. I had a gold base up at the start of this. I was on 3 base before my opponent took his natural. And yet the contain of tanks, sensor towers, marines has done its work. Hoggle in huge trouble right now, but Funky Funtime going to come out with the Liberator counterattack. Okay, Liberators. Very nicely done. Hoggle, you got to micro those marines. Those marines going to touch the laser swords. The marines do go down. The Liberators hold on. The third is stabilized. Funky Funtime hangs on for now. More Vikings and Libs on the way. That is the way you break out of these sort of contains, but missile turrets will make it very hard to break through. It means you need to edge forward very, very slowly. Edge slowly. Make sure you don't allow these missile turrets to climax too quickly. These Liberators have to kind of just zone out some units on the ground, and then your tanks need to edge forward into the missile turrets and start doing all of that. Okay, Hoggle runs forward, but he's going to lose a lot of bio for that one. Finally, Funky Funtime does get a bit of punish down. One of the problems, though, is we've got +1 shields and stim for Hoggle. We don't have anything but stim for Funky Funtime. Funky Funtime is going to finally, though, break out the left-hand side of this contain. And I mean, honestly, this is the target. This Peeping Tom perverted tower of goodiness. This here is just disgusting. Oh, this marine, focus the lib, it's got 1 hit point. Oh no, that tank. Okay, does get out of there. That marine does snipe down the lib, not too bad, but Hoggle's starting to bleed units in a little bit sloppily. The siege tank's like, oi, come and get me, 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 come and get me. Yeah, dickheads. How do you like them apples? But the siege tank friend was pretty low on hit points. Actually, Hoggle might be broken here. Hoggle's pulling back. The missile turrets are doing a lot of work. This siege tank doing some amazing shots. There's no units left on the ground. There's only a single marauder. The marine goes down as well. This one pervy tower. What's that? There's a neckbeard in there? Did you guys, people always talk about it, they didn't realize there's a little guy in there. You can see him piloting the missile turret. You see, he's a bit of a Chad. That's a Chad piloter of the missile turret. He's like, oh, I'm going to shoot down my opponent's fighters and stuff. The guy in here, there is a neckbeard in the basement of the sensor tower. That's why you can't see him. And he dies. So just to give you guys a bit more backstory, he is actually the essence of the NSA with just staring at your data. He's just fapping to your metadata. He's watching everything that's going on. He's a true peeping Tom, a true pervert, a bit of a dirty dude. And yeah, he just sits down there. It's like if the NSA didn't care about terrorists, but they did actually care about what's in your incognito tab, you know? It's like every time someone opens an incognito tab on Chrome, the NSA have an alarm that flashes off and their team of neckbeards are like, quickly tap into their porn feed and record it. It's exactly what happens with sensor towers. Remember, guys, there is still one more pervy sensor tower down the south side of this map. Hoggle finally going to have to give up this position. These units are going to get pushed back, and one basement of nerds on the south side. They're not quite done with looking at what's going on. They're like, oh, he's coming over here. Oh, yes. They're licking their lips. They're wiping the Dorito stains off their t-shirts as they're contemplating their imminent doom. And with that, revenge of those who have been perved upon, they snipe down the sensor tower, and they do remove the perversions. The people watching them from the shadows. Hoggle here, still rallying like a couple of Marauders and Marines. No, there's a good pack of Marines and Marauders. Here we go, Hoggle diving in. But the Liberators, the Marines, there's too many units on the side of Funky. Funky has way worse upgrades, but Hoggle here taking a sloppy engagement. I mean, oh God. That was a little bit gross. And we see Hoggle now without as much map vision. He's quickly sent an SCV across. He's trying to build another pervy station. He needs to see what is in Funky Funtime's browser history. He needs to know what sort of fetishes lie within. Is it foot stuff? Is there strange cartoons with fantastical creatures? He needs to know. And that sensor tower starts collecting that data. He's like, oh, this one here. He's watching some weird shit on his phone. The Viking's like, oi, what the fuck? You're tapping into me phone, mate. I was just stationed to sit here. I can watch on me phone what I want, all right? Leave me alone. Meanwhile, Hoggle's struggling to get through those minerals, has finally got a few more barracks up, and he's able to pump these Marines and Marauders out faster. Most importantly, 3-3 is on the way. It's 2-2 upgrades to none. Still no combat shields for Funky Funtime. Funky Funtime has not upgraded the bio at all. This is almost a mech army from Funky Funtime. It's basically Tank Liberator with a couple of Marines and Marauders on the ground for support. Hoggle, no, you gotta get out of there, dude. Get the hell out of there. Hoggle taking some big tank shots. This command center will go down. Hoggle's still got a big economy, though, on 4 bases. Hoggle's just got to be patient. Oh, these units did separate from the tanks on the north. Hoggle's going to stim in. Ooh, some big pickups. Very nicely done. But no, you got to pull back. Oh, shit. Hoggle's bleeding in. Hoggle's perverted tactics are struggling here. That tank doing some good damage. Oh, scans the unsiege. Funky Funtime caught with his pants down, and the table is turned. You might have thought it was Hoggle's basement nerds in the sensor towers who had their pants around their ankles, but this time it was that perverted vision. It was the guy operating the orbital command center. He scanned. He said, no, they're dropping trowel right now. Radioed through to the bio squad. He said, get him now. The tank drivers were all like, they tried to drive their tanks away and siege up, but they tripped over their pants, and they all went down. Hoggle just exercising some amazing peeping Tom strategy here right now. He even snaps that Raven on the way home and immediately starts trying to set up the pervert ring once more. We've got that pervert on the left-hand side from Hoggle. Hoggle once again has a forward position, does not have any medevacs to heal this bio, and we see this army on the left-hand side. Funky Funtime's like, what the hell is this? Stop it. Stop watching me, you sick bastard. And, Hoggle's like, it's okay, mate. I mean, if you're not looking to blow anything up, you've got nothing to fear from us looking at your data. And Funky Funtime's like, no, seriously, this is disgusting. Stop looking at me browser history, mate. It's none of your business. Funky Funtime, Joe, ends up actually winning that engagement with a very nice siege up on the high ground. That wounded bio not able to compete the way it wanted to, but we do have the missile turrets and sensor towers on the right-hand side. These medevacs and Vikings do have the air superiority for the moment. A Viking should beat a Liberator, even though the Viking was already heavily wounded. A few more libs are coming in, but there we go. One more lib does go down. These medevacs taking some damage right now. More command centers on the way for Hoggle. Hoggle's like, look, all right, it's hard to keep these sensor towers alive. I need more scans, all right? We need to be able to just instantly plug into any area of the map and see what's going on with those endless scans. This medevac's trying to run around a little bit. The Liberators and the Raven, are they going to chase in the missile turret? That's exactly what Hoggle would want. Funky Funtime! No, don't do it, dude! It's going to throw down an auto turret, and that will actually take down the medevac and the Viking. Very nicely done there. But, oh, this siege tank on the left-hand side. Funky Funtime says, get funkity fucked, mate. Those siege tanks doing a good amount of damage to control that ramp. Hoggle's in trouble now, actually. Hoggle keeps walking into these siege tanks. Uh-oh, Hoggle's bleeding out units. It's actually Funky Funtime with the resource advantage right now. But remember, because all this fighting is on Funky Funtime's side of the map, one big screw-up, and that's where Hoggle will run away with this game. Okay, he's going to try to come forward. There's so few units on the ground, but the missile turrets are going to make this an okay trade. And there's just not that many units for Hoggle. He can't clear everything, but he still kills a lot of the stuff. And, oh, 2 more tanks coming up. They could turn this around if these tanks siege up. Oh, but they siege up in tank range. Bad siege up from Hoggle, and now he's going to lose this position on this right-hand side of the map. If only he sieged them a little bit further back, that would have been very, very different scenario there. More command centers going up in the top left. Nice play from Funky Funtime. The bio play still kind of sucking for Funky Funtime, and the upgrades, I think, being the big thing, which could let Funky Funtime lose this game potentially, because Hoggle's got 3-3, guys. That's 3-3 bio. If Hoggle could just get up like 6 or 7 barracks, I think he's up to 7 barracks now. One of them doesn't have an add-on, but there's a few tech labs, a bunch of reactors. I think if Hoggle can just mass Marine Marauder and get a big ball out, anytime Funky Funtime's in the open, this bio is just so much better quality. Hoggle keeps engaging with like a quarter of the units and taking like good trades. The Marines of Funky Funtime are doing like 2 damage a shot to Hoggle's Marauders. Even though Funky Funtime clears that up, once again, a more efficient trade for Hoggle. Hoggle here, just running around. Look at this. He's trying to be so annoying as well. Oh my god. Look at this. Scan it. What a dickhead. Funky Funtime scans too late. Loses 2 siege tanks for scan there. That was bloody amazing. And Hoggle here is really just committing to trying to be as much of a D-bag as possible. This is a fantastic game. You can tell Hoggle is expending so much APM just trying to keep on doing all these weird little maneuvers, which you would not normally see. Uh-oh, these tanks going in. Sensor tower on the top left did go down. No perversions there. Oh, the tanks, they lost vision because they're on the low ground. Oh, Funky Funtime. It's just like an endless rally of siege tanks just sieging up in annoying positions for Hoggle. And we are going to see this Liberator get snapped on that left-hand flank. On the right, the Marines and Marauders trickling in. The siege tanks trickling in. An auto turret on these tanks would be spectacular right now. It finally does go down, but at the same time, Marines find the mineral line in the top left. These siege tanks here, the auto turret's going to take out one. Will it take out a second? No, targets the high hit point one. That's a dead mineral line though, and that's a problem. Hoggle here is taking down all of Funtime's units. Funtime tries to engage, but remember, these are 3-3 Marines versus 0-0 no combat shield Marines. Just look at how much damage Funtime's Marines do. They do almost nothing, even shooting the Marines of Hoggle with that 3 armor in place against the 6 damage Marines. So these Marines are now going to move to the top left. Another expansion goes down. Funky Funtime did such a good job expanding up here in the midst of all the combat, and that is going to do really well. The Marines and Marauders here as well. Funky Funtime trying to come forward. Look at how little damage they do. The auto turret and the tank will clear these units. The Marines were not doing anything. That Marauder even gets the hell out of there. This is just insane. These units are so much better for Hoggle. Tanks on the right-hand side here. Funky Funtime can establish this side and take this base and the gold. We'll be back in a good position. But Hoggle is continuing to say, look, the initial pervert position is the best pervert position. That tank goes down. Does siege this tank here, though. And the stim! Oh, the 3-3 bio getting an engagement in the open. Absolute devastation. Funky Funtime's army. Just in the blink of an eye, you know? One day, you're at your job, you're in your cubicle, and you do have this little thought. You say, am I dreaming or am I really here? And then you blink and suddenly you're in Dicktown, and you're like, what just happened? Funky Funtime has played a fantastic game. Remember, opened up with a CC first on the gold base, but Hoggle has just been seeing everything. Just too much perversion. Just too many seeing eyes. Too much hacking into the data here from from Hoggle's NSA. Another NSA neckbeard pawn spying station goes up in enemy territory, and suddenly Hoggle is aware of exactly what's in all their browser histories. There's just a lot of naughty things, some things they're proud of, some they're embarrassed of, and definitely far too many Japanese cartoons. These siege tanks are going to continue to just pick away. Hoggle has got those Marines clearing out the depots behind the third as well. Oh, Funky Funtime. This is such a high-stress game for both players, but Hoggle continuing to set up these frustrating, stressful positions has forced so many more mistakes out of Funky Funtime. Is scanning right now, but really just cannot defend, and I feel like even this area is not defended right now. We've got tanks moving forward. Oh, the neckbeard station did take some damage. It's burning. It's burning. Oh my god, it's like that video of that guy who's live streaming and the fire happens in his trash can and then he's just too stupid to put it out. The neckbeards! The neckbeards! And they burn down. That's a bunch of pervy neckbeards there. The Peeping Toms do go down. These Widow Mines trying to defend this, but the Marines and the Marauders already just doing so much damage. A big stim in on the left at the same time. There's just not enough units to defend this 3-3 bio. That tank on the south side finally gets some shots off, but Hoggle's going to move siege tanks forward as well. Nice Widow Mine shot on the right-hand side, but the middle area has been compromised, and Hoggle, as soon as he drops a scan, will actually be in range to take out those siege tanks. So you see here from Hoggle's vision, these tanks will go down in the near future. Hoggle's bleeding units in. Just absolutely no care for the health and safety of the units. Actually, Funtime lands the first scan and does start winning that tank battle on the left, but then more Marines and Marauders come in, absorb some shots. Funky Funtime gets knocked out, and Hoggle, you absolute perverted madman. A masterclass of peeping tomfoolery, and of course, staying in the game, just like Florencio. Says, you know what, it's not just about winning, it's also about enjoying the murder. I like enjoying murdering all your stuff. I'm gonna stay in the game and kill your buildings. What a legend. What a legend. Hats off to you, Hoggle. Definitely went whole hog in this match. But he's not gonna leave the game. Wow. I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh my god. Oh my god.